You've been lied to your entire life about happiness. You've been told that happiness is the goal, that you should always think positive, that if you're not happy, something's wrong with you. Buy this product, follow this routine, practice gratitude, manifest your dreams, and you'll finally be happy. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. The pursuit of happiness is making you miserable, and the obsession with being happy all the time is actually destroying your mental health. Happiness isn't the solution. Happiness is the problem, and once you understand why, everything changes. Let's start with a harsh reality. No matter what you achieve, you'll return to your baseline level of happiness. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, and it's brutal. You think, if I just get that promotion, I'll be happy. You get the promotion, you're happy for a week, maybe a month, then it fades. Now you need the next thing. A bigger house, a nicer car, a better relationship, more money. But here's the kicker. It never ends, because your brain adapts to everything. What once felt amazing becomes normal. What once felt like enough becomes not enough. You're on a treadmill, running faster and faster, chasing a feeling that keeps moving further away. This isn't a flaw in you. It's how your brain works. Humans evolved to never be satisfied, because satisfied ancestors didn't survive. The ones who kept striving, kept seeking, kept wanting more, they're the ones who passed on their genes. So you're biologically wired to be unhappy with what you have, and no amount of positive thinking is going to change that. Now let's talk about toxic positivity. This is the idea that you should always look on the bright side, always be grateful, always stay positive, never complain, good vibes only, and it's destroying people. Because here's what happens when you're told you should always be happy. When you're not happy, you feel like you're failing. You feel guilty for being sad. You feel ashamed for being anxious. You feel broken for being angry. So now you're not just dealing with the original emotion. You're also dealing with shame about having that emotion. You're suffering twice. Once from the feeling itself, and again from the belief that you shouldn't be feeling it. Toxic positivity tells you to suppress negative emotions, to ignore them, to just think positive. But emotions don't work that way. What you resist persists. The more you try to push away sadness, the stronger it gets. The more you try to force happiness, the more miserable you become. And here's the irony. Countries that prioritize happiness the most have higher rates of depression and disappointment, because when happiness is the standard, anything less than happiness feels like failure. Here's a paradox that'll mess with your head. The more you pursue happiness, the less happy you become. Studies have proven this. People who actively try to be happy end up less happy than people who don't. Why? Because when you're chasing happiness, you're constantly measuring yourself against it. Am I happy yet? Why am I not happy? What's wrong with me? Happiness becomes a goal. And when it's a goal, it's always out of reach. Because the moment you're thinking about whether you're happy, you've already stepped outside of happiness. You're analyzing it instead of experiencing it. Think about the times you've been genuinely happy. Were you thinking, I'm so happy right now? No, you were just present, fully engaged, not monitoring your emotional state. Happiness is a byproduct, not a destination. It's what happens when you're doing something meaningful, not when you're trying to feel a certain way. The harder you chase it, the faster it runs. Here's what the self-help industry doesn't want you to know. Negative emotions aren't the enemy. They're essential. Sadness tells you something matters. If you never felt sad, you'd never know what you care about. Grief is the price you pay for love. Without it, love means nothing. Anxiety alerts you to danger. It prepares you, it makes you careful. Without anxiety, you'd walk into traffic without looking. Anger shows you when your boundaries are being violated. It gives you the energy to protect yourself. Without anger, you'd let people walk all over you. Fear keeps you alive. Guilt makes you a better person. Shame keeps you aligned with your values. These emotions aren't bugs. They're features. They're information. And when you try to eliminate them, you're not becoming healthier. You're becoming numb. The goal isn't to be happy all the time. The goal is to feel the full range of human emotion and know how to navigate it. There's a difference between happiness and meaning, and most people confuse the two. Happiness is pleasure. It's comfort. It's ease. It feels good in the moment, but it's shallow and temporary. Meaning is purpose. It's struggle. It's growth. It often doesn't feel good in the moment, but it's deep and lasting. Raising kids isn't always happy. It's exhausting, stressful, and often frustrating, but it's meaningful. Building a career isn't always happy. It's full of setbacks and rejection, but it's meaningful. Fighting for something you believe in isn't always happy, but it's meaningful. Research shows that people who pursue meaning report higher life satisfaction than people who pursue happiness. Because meaning gives you something bigger than yourself. Happiness is self-focused, meaning is purpose-focused. The happiest people aren't the ones chasing happiness. They're the ones chasing meaning and experiencing happiness as a side effect. Social media has made the happiness problem even worse, because now you're not just comparing yourself to reality, you're comparing yourself to everyone's highlight reel. You see people on vacation, at parties, celebrating wins. You don't see the fights, the debt, the breakdowns, the loneliness. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their edited highlight reel. And you feel like you're the only one who's not happy. This creates a feedback loop. You feel inadequate, so you post something to prove you're happy. Someone else sees it and feels inadequate. They post something, and the cycle continues. The result? A generation of people pretending to be happy, comparing themselves to other people pretending to be happy and feeling miserable because they're not actually happy. Happiness has become a performance, and the more you perform it, the less you feel it. So if happiness isn't the goal, what is? First, pursue meaning over pleasure. Ask yourself what's worth suffering for. Because anything meaningful requires sacrifice. Find what's worth it. Second, accept negative emotions. Stop treating sadness, anxiety, and anger like enemies. They're messengers. Listen to them, learn from them. Let them exist without judgment. Third, stop comparing. Your happiness isn't determined by how you measure up to others. It's determined by whether you're living according to your own values. Fourth, focus on growth, not comfort. Comfort is nice, but it doesn't lead to fulfillment. Challenge yourself, learn, struggle, grow. That's where real satisfaction comes from. Fifth, be present. Stop analyzing whether you're happy, stop chasing it. Just be here, fully engaged in whatever you're doing. Happiness shows up when you stop looking for it. And finally, lower your expectations of constant happiness. You're not supposed to be happy all the time. You're supposed to be human. And being human means feeling everything. The highs and the lows, the joy and the pain. That's not a problem. That's life. Happiness isn't the problem because it's bad. It's the problem because we've made it the goal. And when you make happiness the goal, you miss the point entirely. Life isn't about being happy. It's about being alive, fully, messily, imperfectly. And sometimes that means being sad or angry or scared, and that's okay. Stop chasing happiness. Start chasing meaning, and let happiness come and go as it pleases. If this changed how you think about happiness, let me know in the comments. And if you want more unconventional psychology insights, subscribe.